Hi, we're out here at the creek today and we're going to be testing the dissolved oxygen at a couple different stretches on Beaver Creek. And we're going to look for some stretches with different characteristics. We're going to do some oxygen testing in a riffle section, in an aerated pool section, and then we're going to go to a different section of the stream and also test in a riffle section, but then a long pool with a silty bottom as well. So we'll do that today and show you how to measure dissolved oxygen. So this is a dissolved oxygen field kit. The kit consists of a fairly simple meter, and this meter is this model is called the HQ40D. It's a Hach brand meter, and with that is a dissolved oxygen probe. The probe is what's going to measure the dissolved oxygen. The probe has a protective cover on it that can be removed. So this is the actual probe part, and the tip of the probe that senses the electrostatic current that goes through that. And this is just the protector that slides on to protect the very tip of that probe to keep it from hitting the bottom and getting dinged up. This probe is a couple meters in length and can be fully submersed. And we're going to take this probe, the plug of the probe, and plug it into the handheld oxygen meter, if I can get everything lined up just right. There are a couple ports on the back of the meter. It can go into either one on this particular probe. Some probes have multiple ports, as this one does. You could also measure pH with this probe as well. So it's actually called a multimeter. So there are a couple buttons here on the probe, and we're just going to turn on the power button and get it set up here. So notice it's checking for the probe connection. It's connected, and then in this case we can calibrate the sensor. So to calibrate the probe, we're going to saturate some water. I just filled this up with some water. It's got about half air in it. So I'm just going to shake that up real good to make sure the air is saturating the water solution as well. And then we simply put the probe in there right away and hit calibrate. And while we do that, we're waiting for it to stabilize. So on this multimeter, the green button is the read button. So we hit that, and that will start the calibration process. And then we wait for it to stabilize. And it may take a few minutes for it to stabilize. I'm gently shaking the probe a little bit to make sure that oxygen stays mixed in with the water as it goes through the stabilization process. This probe also has a water temperature, so it measures temperature as well, if you can see on the screen there. And the temperature today looks like it's about 22.4. And I'm not sure if you can see on the screen, but the process is stabilizing. So we're getting close to the point where it's calibrated here. And we're still working on the calibration, but it's getting closer and closer. And we're just about there. So you can see it's nearly stabilized. The bar is all the way across. And it's got 100%. So now we're calibrated and we're ready to use this probe and the oxygen meter, which have been calibrated for today's condition, and go do some dissolved oxygen monitoring in our stream. So this is just stream water. Just going to dump that out, and we'll go start sampling.